Veterans calling out young guns. It's supposed to be mentoring, guidance, maybe a gentle nudge toward maturity. But this wasn't gentle. This was Damian Lillard throwing a haymaker at the jaw of the NBA's most electric young superstar. 9 all-star appearances versus explosive highlight reels. Seasoned consistency versus raw, unfiltered talent. 2 philosophies of basketball greatness colliding head-on in the most unexpected public feud of the season. Ja Morant thought he was building his legacy one gravity-defying dunk at a time. Dame Lillard apparently thought that legacy needed a reality check. The result? A war of words that's got every NBA player, analyst, and fan choosing sides in a debate that cuts to the heart of what modern basketball should look like. This isn't just veteran wisdom versus youthful exuberance. This is a full-scale examination of whether talent alone can overcome experience, whether raw ability beats calculated excellence, and whether the future of the NBA is ready to handle its present responsibilities. Dame drops the hammer. The interview was supposed to be routine. Damian Lillard sitting down with ESPN to discuss the Milwaukee Bucks championship aspirations, maybe touch on his adjustment to playing alongside Giannis. Nobody expected him to take a blowtorch to one of the league's brightest young stars. The shift happened when the conversation turned to leadership in today's NBA. The host asked Lillard about the responsibility veteran players have to guide younger talents. That's when Dame's expression changed, and his voice took on an edge that veteran NBA watchers recognized immediately. "Some of these young guys think being talented is enough," Lillard began, his trademark calm delivery masking what was clearly building frustration. "They think because they can do incredible things athletically, they don't need to worry about the other stuff. The maturity, the consistency, the responsibility that comes with being a face of the league." Then came the direct shot that nobody saw coming. Take Ja Morant. Incredible talent, no question. But at some point you gotta ask yourself, if all that talent means anything if you can't stay on the court because of decisions you're making off it. Do you think Dame crossed a line here? Or was this the wake-up call Ja needed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Lillard wasn't finished. The 9-time All-Star methodically broke down what he saw as a pattern of immaturity that was undermining not just Morant's career, but potentially the reputation of young stars across the league. "I've been in this league for over a decade. I've seen guys with all the talent in the world flame out because they couldn't handle the spotlight, couldn't make the right choices when the cameras weren't rolling," Dame continued. Right now, Ja's at a crossroads. He can either learn from his mistakes and become the player we all know he can be, or he can keep making the same errors and waste what could be a generational career. The most cutting moment came when Lillard addressed Morant's recent suspensions directly. The league gave him multiple chances to get it right. At some point, talent stops being an excuse for poor judgment. The NBA isn't just about what you do between the lines anymore. It's about being a professional 24/7. Social media erupted within minutes. The interview clips were everywhere, with NBA Twitter split between those applauding Dame's honesty and those defending Ja's right to make mistakes as a young player still finding his way. But the biggest question remained unanswered. How would Ja Morant respond to this very public challenge from one of the league's most respected veterans? Ja's explosive counterpunch. Ja Morant doesn't back down from anyone. Not 7-foot centers trying to posterize him at the rim, not veteran point guards trying to punk him in crunch time, and definitely not Damian Lillard questioning his professionalism on national television. The response came faster than anyone expected. Less than 48 hours after Dame's interview aired, Morant was scheduled for his own radio appearance on a Memphis sports station. What was planned as a discussion about the Grizzlies' season quickly became Ja's platform for one of the most defiant responses in recent NBA history. "I heard what Dame said," Morant began, his voice carrying that familiar edge that Grizzlies fans know means business. "And honestly, I'm disappointed. I respected him as a veteran, as someone who's been through the battles I'm just starting to fight. But if he thinks questioning my maturity in public is leadership, then maybe he doesn't understand what real leadership looks like." The Memphis superstar wasn't content with diplomatic deflection. He came loaded with ammunition. "Let's talk facts. At 25, I'm already a 2-time All-Star, former Rookie of the Year, and I've led my team to playoff series victories against teams with way more experience than us. Dame's been in the league over a decade. How many championships does he have to show for all that maturity he's talking about? Is Ja being disrespectful here? Or is this exactly the fire we want to see from young stars? Let us know what you think." But Morant's most devastating blow was yet to come. The young star shifted from defending his own resume to directly challenging Lillard's legacy. "If Dame thinks I'm immature, then maybe he's just scared of what the new generation can do," Morant declared. Maybe he sees guys like me coming up, playing with a different energy, a different swagger, and it threatens what he thought the league was supposed to look like. The Memphis guard then pivoted to his recent performance statistics, rattling off numbers that even his harshest critics couldn't dispute. I'm averaging 25 points and 8 assists this season. I've had multiple triple-doubles, game winners, performances that have people calling me one of the most exciting players in the league. While Dame's talking about mistakes I made off the court, I'm making plays that win games on it. The radio host tried to steer the conversation toward reconciliation, but Morant wasn't interested in peace talks. This isn't about disrespecting veterans. It's about not letting anyone, I don't care how many All-Star games they've been to, disrespect me publicly and expect me to just take it quietly. The gauntlet had been thrown both ways. The NBA's newest war was officially underway. The league chooses sides. When two stars of this caliber go at each other's throats, the entire NBA ecosystem feels the tremors. Players, coaches, analysts, and fans were suddenly forced to navigate one of the most divisive debates in recent memory. Experience versus potential, veterans versus the new generation, calculated excellence versus explosive talent. The veteran camp rallied around Lillard almost immediately. Chris Paul, never one to shy away from leadership discussions, subtly endorsed Dame's position on social media. Sometimes the hardest conversations are the most necessary ones. Kyle Lowry was more direct during his own media availability. Dame said what a lot of us have been thinking. Being talented doesn't give you a pass on being professional. But the young stars weren't about to let their peer fight alone. Anthony Edwards posted a simple but powerful message. Young kings support young kings. Zion Williamson, who's faced his own scrutiny about maturity and preparation, was more explicit. Ja's path is his own. Nobody else gets to define what success looks like for him. The NBA is literally splitting down generational lines. Are you team veteran wisdom or team new school energy? The coaching community found itself in a particularly awkward position. Many privately agreed with Lillard's concerns about accountability, but publicly criticizing a player from another organization opens dangerous precedents. Steve Kerr tried to find middle ground. Both players have valid perspectives. The league is big enough for different approaches to success, but some coaches weren't interested in diplomacy. A Western Conference assistant coach, speaking anonymously, was blunt. Dame's not wrong. Talent without discipline is just wasted potential. We've seen too many promising careers derailed by poor decisions. The media landscape became a battleground of hot takes and expert analysis. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith delivered one of his trademark passionate monologues defending Morant. This young man has been through adversity, learned from his mistakes, and continues to perform at an elite level. Since when do we tear down our stars for being human? Skip Bayless predictably took the contrarian position, praising Lillard's courage. Finally, a veteran with the backbone to call out the culture of excuses that's infected young NBA players. Dame just did what every responsible veteran should do. Social media became the ultimate polling place. Team Dame and my Team Ja hashtags trended worldwide, with fans posting highlight reels, statistical comparisons, and passionate essays defending their chosen side. The debate transcended basketball, touching on broader themes of accountability, second chances, and generational responsibility. Perhaps most tellingly, current and former NBA executives remained largely silent, unwilling to publicly wade into a controversy that could impact future relationships with either player. The battle lines were drawn, and neutrality was no longer an option. Breaking down the numbers. In the NBA, opinions are loud, but statistics are louder. As the Lillard-Morant feud dominated headlines and social media, analysts began diving deep into the numbers to see which side had the stronger case. From a pure production standpoint, both players brought legitimate credentials to the argument. Lillard's resume speaks to consistency and longevity. 9 All-Star selections, multiple All-NBA teams, and a career scoring average that puts him among the elite point guards in league history. His playoff performances, particularly his series-clinching shots, have become the stuff of legend. Morant's numbers tell a different story, one of explosive potential and rapid ascension. At just 25, he's already averaging over 25 points per game for his career, with assist numbers that place him among the elite facilitators in the league. His impact on winning is undeniable. The Grizzlies went from lottery team to playoff contender almost immediately after his arrival. Numbers don't lie, but do they tell the whole story? Which player's statistics impress you more? But the elephant in the room was Morant's availability, the very issue that sparked Lillard's original criticism. Over the past 2 seasons, Ja missed significant time due to suspensions and injury management, raising legitimate questions about reliability. Dame's durability, by contrast, has been one of his defining characteristics throughout his career. The advanced metrics paint an even more complex picture. Morant's impact on team offense when healthy is extraordinary. His teams score significantly more points per possession when he's on the floor. His ability to create shots for teammates and generate easy scoring opportunities through his driving ability shows up in every advanced statistic imaginable. Lillard's advanced numbers reveal a different type of excellence. Remarkable efficiency from three-point range, clutch performance metrics that rank among the best in NBA history, and leadership qualities that translate to team success over extended periods. Perhaps most interesting is the trajectory comparison. At age 25, Lillard was just beginning to hit his prime, still developing the deep range and clutch gene that would define his career. Morant, at the same age, already displays skills and athleticism that suggest his ceiling might be even higher than Dame's peak. The playoff comparison adds another layer. Lillard has extensive postseason experience with multiple deep runs and legendary performances. Morant's playoff sample size is smaller, but his brief appearances have been spectacular, suggesting he thrives under pressure despite his youth. Injury history becomes crucial context. Dame's durability has been remarkable throughout most of his career, while Ja's explosiveness might come with inherent physical risks that could impact long-term availability. The numbers support both sides of the argument, which perhaps explains why the debate has been so polarizing. What this really means for the NBA. Beyond the personal drama and social media warfare, the Lillard-Morant feud represents something much larger, a fundamental tension about the direction of professional basketball and what the league expects from its superstars. Dame's criticism reflects an old-school mentality that prioritizes consistency, professionalism, and earned respect through sustained excellence. It's the philosophy that built the modern NBA, stars who understood that talent alone wasn't enough. That championship-level success required maturity both on and off the court. Morant's defiant response embodies a newer generation that refuses to apologize for being different, that believes authenticity and explosive talent can coexist with professional success. It's a mindset that says yesterday's rules shouldn't limit tomorrow's stars. This debate is bigger than two players. What kind of NBA do you want to see? Old-school discipline or new-school authenticity? The league office has watched this controversy unfold with obvious concern. Commissioner Adam Silver has spent years building the NBA's brand around player empowerment and individual expression, but also emphasizing the importance of professional conduct. This feud puts those two priorities in direct conflict. For younger players watching this unfold, the implications are massive. If Morant emerges from this controversy with his reputation intact or even enhanced, it sends a message that talent and performance can overcome off-court missteps. If Dame's criticism proves prophetic and Ja's career suffers, it reinforces traditional expectations about professional behavior. The financial stakes are enormous. Both players represent massive marketing investments for their respective teams and the league overall. Morant's explosiveness and social media savvy make him a natural fit for the NBA's younger demographic, while Lillard's consistency and leadership appeal to more traditional basketball fans. Team executives are paying close attention to how this plays out. Future contract negotiations, trade discussions, and roster construction could all be influenced by whether the league and its stakeholders prioritize proven reliability or explosive potential. The coaching community finds itself caught in the middle. Many privately share Dame's concerns about accountability, but publicly criticizing players has become increasingly risky in an era of player empowerment. The balance between development and discipline has never been more delicate. How do you think this controversy changes how teams evaluate young stars going forward? Will this make front offices more cautious? Perhaps most importantly, this feud has forced an honest conversation about what the NBA wants to be. A league that celebrates individual expression and allows stars to be flawed humans, or one that demands a higher standard of professional conduct from its highest-paid performers? The answer will shape not just these two careers, but the entire culture of professional basketball. Two superstars, two philosophies, one league forced to examine its soul. Damian Lillard threw down a challenge that cut deeper than any crossover or clutch shot ever could. Ja Morant responded with the same fearless energy that makes him must-see television every night he steps on the court. The result is a debate that transcends basketball and touches on fundamental questions about talent, accountability, and what we expect from our athletes. This won't end with apologies or handshakes. It will end on the court, where all NBA debates ultimately get settled. Both players now carry extra motivation, Dame to prove that experience and maturity still matter, Ja to show that explosive talent and authentic self-expression can coexist with championship-level success. The NBA is big enough for both philosophies, but this controversy has forced everyone to pick a side. The beautiful thing about basketball is that eventually the scoreboard provides the final answer to every argument.